Yeah, I wanted to talk about this death rate with the coronavirus because if you're tracking it, it's the number of cases is going up constantly and the deaths are going up as well, and as well as the recoveries. So I wanted to talk about this because I misspoke in my video where I gave the death rate and I think I said like 25. I don't even know what I said, 25 out of 1,000. It was wrong regardless. But I wanted to elaborate on this anyway because when we're talking about numbers and statistics, it can be so misunderstood. People hear a number and a death rate and they think that's definitive, that's all they need to know, and they should be deathly afraid. When statistics can be skewed, numbers can be easily manipulated. I think it was Mark Twain that says there are lies, damn lies, and there are statistics, and there's a reason for this. A good example of this would be measles, for instance. So measles, if you look at the CDC statistics, everyone is so afraid of measles because it's like 1 in 1,000 people. The death rate is really high. And that doesn't make sense in the real world. So the way they manipulate that is they use third world statistics where people are very sick anyway, and so a large number of the people that get measles die. And so they're using those statistics when in reality, if we look at when measles was common, just like chickenpox was in like the U.S., in developed nations where people are mostly healthy, people recover very easily from measles, and the death rate is more like 1 in 10,000 people or something like that. So as I was saying before, you kind of just have to gauge this with your own perception and see how people are dealing with it and recovering. So another thing with this is healthy people that typically recover from this sort of thing, they're not going to rush in and seek out treatment. So these cases that are being counted, they're not grasping everyone. And smart people are going to quarantine themselves anyway. They're not going to want to go out and get everybody sick if they're sick themselves. So unless you're hospitalized or unless you go into the hospital and they test you for this, they're not going to count these people that are at home. And the same thing happens with measles. It happens with every other disease or virus or ailment. People that know they're going to make it through, they're not running to the hospital. They're at home getting well, and then these numbers are never even caught. So these numbers being captured are the worst case scenarios most of the time. These are very sick people who feel like they need to make it to the doctor or they need extra help. As you can see, we're not too worried about it. We're out at the park and stuff. And the local ice cream shop is actually giving out free ice cream because everybody's out of school, and it's just kind of like a fun little deal, I guess. But of course, it hasn't hit us the way it's hit these bigger cities. So yeah, I just really quickly wanted to go over why the total number of cases and the death rate isn't always the best way to kind of gauge how severe this is. So that this could even be used as a tool of manipulation, honestly, because there are so many ways you can mess with the numbers. This is how, studies are manipulated. So don't let it all bog you down. I see tempers are short in all the communities right now. Everywhere I look, people are getting angry over small stuff and mad, and the skies are gloomy as they have been for months and months, depending on where you live, but here it has been. And just be prepared. If you want to know more about that, look into all these prepper videos that are out there. They can tell you exactly what you need, flashlights, all of that stuff. And just feel confident that you're healthy and you're strong. And even if it did come down to it to where we were out of food or something, we can eat animals. So as long as you have a gun and you know how to go get and hunt an animal, we're good to go. All right, peace out, y'all.